I took care of my stepdaughter like my own after her mom tossed her aside because of her special needs, so now she calls me mom, and bio mommy is furious she's been tossed away. Okay, so I, 34F, married the man of my dreams, 44M, last month, and he has a 16-year-old daughter from his prior marriage. I've been in her life, and she's been in mine for 4 years, and I've done my best to be there for her as a friend and trustworthy adult. She's a really, really great kid. I felt closer to her than I did to any of my sisters, and I could see she looked up to me and trusted me. One more important thing, she's on the spectrum, and I swear that's relevant. My husband and I went on our honeymoon for 2 weeks, and then we came back on Friday. My stepdaughter came up to me and asked if we could talk. She told me no one had ever been as considerate as I was in learning how to make foods in the exact way she liked them, or as patient with her poor emotional regulation. Her words, I think she's doing great. She told me I overall was her favorite person in her life, so she asked if it was okay to call me mom. This really caught me off guard, and I stopped for a moment to process it. She got embarrassed and told me she was sorry and it was stupid, but I told her it wasn't stupid because I would love that. She got super excited and hugged me, and it was lovely. I was telling my husband about it later, and it suddenly sunk in that I had become somebody's mom. I just stopped, and I told him, I'm someone's mom, and he asked me if I felt like I was in the delivery room, haha. I laughed at that, but I got so emotionally overwhelmed I started crying. This morning she came downstairs and said, hey mom, to me, and it's gonna take some getting used to, but holy cow, that was a great feeling. I still don't believe I've earned the titles, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to try my damn best. Update 1. So, I recently made a post talking about how my stepdaughter asked to call me mom, and it made me really happy. My husband has 2 children from his previous marriage, a 16-year-old daughter and a 26-year-old daughter. When they divorced, his ex-wife advocated for custody of the older daughter, sounds like it was because she was more independent and less work, and he got the youngest one. As a result, his younger daughter always felt kind of unloved by her mom and doesn't go too far out of her way to talk to her. Recently, the older daughter finally got a job in her field that she's been fighting for a few years, and she wanted to have a dinner with the family. She seems like a nice girl from the times I've interacted with her, but her mom seems passive-aggressive and unkind. We all got to the restaurant and sat down, and it was pretty nice and civil. I was sitting next to my stepdaughter, and she was a little overwhelmed because she hadn't been to the restaurant before and didn't know what to order, so we were looking at the menu together. I pointed out a type of pasta that looked similar to something we make at home that she likes, and she said, thanks mom. I guess she said it loud enough that her biological mom heard, because she literally stopped everything and asked, what did you just say? My husband and I tried to defuse the situation, but she was very agitated by it, and actually bluntly demanded to know why she said what she said. Their older daughter stepped in and asked if she could tell her mom about her new job, and that got her to move on finally. My stepdaughter didn't say much for the rest of the dinner, but on the way home, she tried to apologize for ruining the evening, to which we told her she didn't. Then, if this wasn't bad enough, both she and my husband received a 4-paragraph-long message talking about how disrespectful and egregious it was that she called another woman mom, and how she was very disturbed by it. My husband is just in disbelief and feels horrible for our daughter. He went to talk to her, and she didn't say much, but she clearly thinks this is all her fault. If anything, it's my fault for not discussing how she should refer to me at the dinner with my husband and then discussing it with her beforehand. I just freaking hate that this woman is upsetting her so much, and I see why my husband divorced her. Update 2. So, a small update on my post from last week. The next day after the dinner incident happened, my stepdaughter came over to me and told me her older sister texted her and asked if she could read the text out loud. I just nodded and said definitely, but on the inside, my eyes rolled to the back of my head like Jesus Christ, here we go. However, her sister sent her a very, very lovely and thoughtful message saying she felt bad about what happened the night before and was sorry the two of them haven't been talking much lately and asked if she wanted to try to be sisters again. Then she said she asked her what movies she's seen lately, and movies are her special interest, so that meant a lot, she asked. Not gonna lie, I was caught off guard by her sincerity and kindness. It was very sweet. Then later that day, I got a text message from her older sister, whom I assume got my number from her little sis, and said she wanted to get to know me better since I am legally her stepmom now and I'm the woman her baby sister is calling mom, so she definitely wanted to try to get to know each other. She also mentioned that she didn't get to celebrate her sister's 16th birthday with her and felt that was a really big deal and asked if the 3 of us could get dinner and see a movie. So the 3 of us went out and saw a movie and got dinner by ourselves. My younger stepdaughter picked the movie, and she loved it, but my older stepdaughter and I didn't get it, but the only thing that matters is that she liked it. Then we sat down and had dinner together and had a very, very nice time. Then on the way out, my younger stepdaughter asked if she could run into the store next to the restaurant to buy something really quick, in and out, so we said all right. While she was in the store, my older stepdaughter told me she wanted me to know she misjudged me. She observed our interactions both at the dinner the other night and tonight, me going through the menu with her to find something she likes, me advocating for her when their mother got upset, and how she clearly feels comfortable talking around me, and that she completely understands why I'm now mom to her. All in all, a pretty great night. After I got home, I saw she sent me a text related to something we talked about, So looks like we're gonna be talking now. Still got some stuff to work out with her biological mom, but we'll take this as a victory. Anyway, yeah, I just figured I'd share something positive since there's a lot of negativity on Reddit and with my current situation, so I figured I'd share a positive update. Update 3. Tonight, my husband was sleeping, and I was scrolling through Netflix for something to watch as I fell asleep, but then my phone started buzzing from an unknown number. I picked up, and lo and behold, it was my husband's ex-wife. She was very clearly drunk, so the first thing I did was put her on speaker and grab my husband's phone to record it. She said a bunch of rambly nonsense, but among it, she said I don't deserve to be called mom, I don't know my stepdaughter or love her like she does, and that I was a WHRE who was able to lure my husband in with my body since I'm 10 years younger than she is. I didn't really engage and was just like, oh, alright, that's interesting, the whole time, but then she said she deserves full custody of her and was going to get it. This was a little worrying, but my husband has a really good lawyer who's been taking care of it, and I assume that phone call did her no favors. Eventually, I told her I had to go to bed, and then before I hung up, she told me my husband was going to drop me when I got too old just like he did with her. My husband is still asleep, and I haven't told anyone, but I'm not gonna lie, some of the things she said kinda hurt. I love my husband and trust he's not only dating me for my age, and I love my stepdaughter very much, but hearing someone say those things can be really upsetting. Anyway, I blocked her number and plan to tell my husband about it in the morning. For now, I'm just thankful for my family, and we'll figure it out later. Update 4. To make a long story short, she found out we recorded the conversation, and that seemed to scare her off a bit. Things have been quiet, so that's good. However, my stepdaughter found out that her bio mom is still really upset that she called me mom, and she disclosed something to me. She said she intentionally called me mom within earshot of her biological mom, because she has some hurt feelings about her mom more or less dropping her and wanted to essentially rub it in her face that someone else picked up the role she left. She obviously feels really bad about this and didn't realize it was spiraling into something so big. She told me she was so very sorry for doing that. If I'm being honest, I had a feeling that was the case because that doesn't really just happen, but it was good to hear it directly from her. Edit. So, something happened. Tonight I got a call from her, and I immediately grabbed my husband's phone again to record. However, she seemed a bit more modest and asked if we could talk and said she hoped it was okay she was calling me. Again, I tried to say as little as possible, but she told me she was sorry she reacted like that and called me names, and she also said she wanted to be on good terms. I had no idea what to say, so I just kind of brought the conversation to a halt and then told her I had to go. I don't know what to think of that. Obviously my guard is up because it was such a random and bizarre turn of events, and if the timing was different, I might be less cynical. That being said, part of me is wondering if maybe she's actually trying to make nice. I told my husband, and he's equally as surprised, but we're gonna sleep on it and figure out what to do tomorrow. Not gonna lie, I'm not interested in having a relationship with her. Maybe later on down the road, if she shows significant improvement in behavior and self-control, we could talk then. However, right now, I just really don't care because the things she's said, done, and caused have cost so much emotional bandwidth, stress, and tears. So yeah, that kinda just fell into our laps.